Here we go. Now we're live. Welcome to the Cavalry.
Welcome to the Cavalry, everybody. We have just a stellar guest this week. We're going to introduce her right away. Ladies and gentlemen, Carmen Morales.
Yay!
Oh my God! Yay!
Hi, Carmen.
Oh my God, I appreciate it. Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
It's so lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's so formal of us all right at the beginning. Johnny, that was great. You really took over there and
I know. I
took
feel
the
like
intro
I never
strongly.
do the introduction. I just thought, you know what? Let's bring her on strong, and then I'm gonna sit back quietly while you two talk over each other.
I appreciated it. Yeah. No. That was great. Thank you, Carmen. Carmen, you're in LA and you're joining us from Los Angeles. And another person we've been doing a lot of virtual shows with, so we've all been kind of seeing each other. But thank you for doing it.
But only from the pecs up. It's only nips up is the only way that we see each other.
We're nips up friends. I have like a lot of nips up friends. I have like some like close friends, and some family friends, and some nips up friends. So
yeah, you guys are in my head and shoulders crew is what I call it. That's it. Not just because we see each other from the nips up, but also because the three of us have dope ass hair. So
oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say because Johnny has dandruff.
Oh no, but everybody with good hair does have dandruff. So if you want to talk about something already, dandruff equals good thick ass hair. That's where that fucking dandruff comes from. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's
true. Wait a minute. So did you say that all three of us have thick hair?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying that all of us have good hair. The dandruff
has discussed on previous episodes that he gets away with using dry shampoo because he has hair like my wife, which is very thin. I do have very thick hair.
Yeah,
I have thin hair, but it's like full. Can you have
full?
Full
yeah, he's
hair?
not losing it. It's just thinner strands.
Sorry, I got defensive there. I want to get back to Carmen.
That's what I'm saying. Thick hair. I'm saying thick hair, like on your head, that causes dandruff. Like, so if you have good fucking thick ass hair, a lot of times that comes with dandruff. So.
I needed you in 6th grade so bad. I got murdered by this kid named Nick. Oh, they roasted me. I've ever wore like a black sweatshirt or something to school. Golly, I got killed for having dandruff. So, man, if you had been around. What's
funny is now you've come full circle because with dry shampoo, it basically just creates more dandruff. So, because it's basically powder you're putting in your hair. So I'm glad you haven't really changed much since 6th grade. You just always like to have a little snowstorm on your shoulders.
I was ahead of the game in 6th grade with the It was mostly because I probably wasn't like showering super well.
That's the other part of it, I think.
Yeah. Well, when you have thick, luscious, beautiful mane locks like myself, you don't have to wash your hair every day.
Wait.
No,
Johnny,
you're not supposed to wash your hair every day.
Johnny is what?
Johnny, the one day you decided not to like pull it back in a ponytail. Now, of course, it's all hair talk all the time. You're really.
Yeah, I know. I texted Carmen right before she joined. Hey, bring up my hair.
I'll do it organically. It'll be great. Nobody will even know.
Yeah. That was that was very organic. It was very good how you.
No, I did not text her, but yes, it was very organic.
But that's the other thing too is like your hair shouldn't be washed every day because then you get rid of all the oils on it and then it actually ends up being greasier if you wash it too much, or you can cause dandruff because your scalp dries out because you wash it too much. So that's the other reason. So it's dandruff is on both sides of the spectrum. Either you aren't washing it enough or you're washing it too much. So that's why
Fickle mistress.
But also, you shouldn't wash your hair every day. That's why my hair looks perfect when it's been 2 days. When my hair looks really good.
Because your hair looks great right now. Has it been 2 days?
1 day. It's been 1 day.
Okay.
Oh, I can't wait to see it tomorrow. We should do it tomorrow.
Should we postpone the podcast?
I'll do a pic so you guys can see it. My hair's like how you should live your life, just a little bit dirty, just be a little bit dirty.
Oh, yeah.
So if dandruff's a good sign, that means you have thick hair. Like, so if you have pubic lice, does that mean you have a big thick ding dong?
Or thick pubes. Maybe not a thick ding dong. I don't think unless your dick is one big ass hair follicle.
That was my favorite insult growing up, is when people would be like, "Yeah, Johnny thought he had a pube until he peed out of it." Like, oh, come on.
Oh, that's
You
good.
gotta respect it. It's
You're
funny.
like, I don't got a loop de loo in my dick. Come on now. I don't got a roller coaster ride cock. Come on.
I like Johnny on the pubic lice line. He couldn't even get it out without laughing to himself. He was so proud of it.
I'm very proud of it.
No, it was great.
That was the whole reason I texted Amber, is just so I could, or I texted Carmen so that I could lead up to that joke.
He was like hair and then pubic lice, and I was like, all right, I got you.
It didn't take
And
us
now
long
we
to
can
get
start
into
the episode.
Now
Now that
was
we've
what
laid
we
the
call,
groundwork.
that segment was brought to you by
Pubic.
Head and Shoulders shampoo. It's our opening
Pubic
remarks.
shampoo. Head and Shoulders
shampoo.
pubic shampoo now gets rid of lice.
Do they make a brand of shampoo specifically for the pubic region?
I mean, they have
Johnny,
like,
I turn it to you.
the expert. I get it.
Say, I don't know.
No,
I've
they
never.
can't.
Unfortunately, maybe I lead a boring life, but I've never had pubic lice. That's my one
Neither
regret.
have I, and I be fucking, bro. You don't have to get lice to mean you're fucking, dude. Like, you just gotta pick better places to put your parts. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way you get. It's more from like general lack of hygiene. Here's why I think there should be. I don't know why I answered that question.
So you get it from like pulling down your pants and laying down.
I'm like the.
tummy
I'm like
down.
the. Yeah, exactly. Like sleeping on a lot of flower beds or whatever. But I don't.
I gotta stop sitting on anthills in a dress. I really gotta cut that out.
Right. No, I sounded like right there. I sounded like the person who for sure has pubic lice. I'm like, guys, that's not how you get it. Okay, so anyway, not that I have it, but just trust me, that's not how you get it.
I've heard that.
I've heard. Yeah, it's from. No, this is disgusting. Look, we got to clean it up here. We got to get back on track.
We're stalling because none of
Cavalry.
us have topics. That's what it is.
No, should I start? I have a topic.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Carmen, but I'm actually worried to do mine because before we jumped on here, just a little peek behind the curtain. We were talking with Carmen, and we were bringing up like bummer stuff. I don't want to bum anybody out, but this is related to my topic, so I just preface by saying that. So I was bummed out recently because I was, you can't do any shows inside hardly anymore because of the virus and everything. And so I finally was going to do one of these outdoor shows. Carmen, have you done any outdoor shows?
I did one outdoor thing.
Yeah. Was it fun at all, or was it as bad
Yes.
as like outdoor shows?
It
was
was an illegal type of situation, so I can't go into the details.
Oh,
But yes, it was outside, and everybody was like, it was safe. Nobody broke any rules. There is just no, right now in Los Angeles, it is illegal to do live entertainment.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. Say no more. We got her, everybody. Yeah.
She is. Bring him in.
this is all under the parody law, by the way. So everything I'm saying is a joke.
Okay.
Oh, and now you're a lawyer. You know where Dandruff comes from. Jesus, you're the most informed guest we've ever had.
Suck it, previous guests.
Oh yeah, except for that. But so I was going to do an outdoor show, and I was excited. And here in Oregon, they're legal, and the comedy club here, Helium, was doing them, and they sound really fun. And the shows I've done before this that were live were not super great because, like, who's going to these shows indoors at a, it's like not your
the
ideal.
people you don't want to make laugh, the people who don't think this is the thing, right?
And,
those aren't the people I want to perform.
Yeah, exactly. So I had that experience. I think Johnny had a similar experience.
Oh, I sure did.
Had some bombs there. But so this was going to be in the city, outdoors, social distance. I invited a ton. I was super excited, invited a ton of people. And then because of these fires here so bad, the air quality here is awful. So they
So
had
you're
to
doing
cancel.
comedy in a dreamscape?
Yeah, they canceled the outdoor show because it wasn't safe. So it's like now you can't do comedy outside. You can't do it inside. You can only do comedy on your computer. It's the only safe way. So I was kind of bummed out, but not a huge deal, but I was a little bummed out. So then my mom sees my I had to make an announcement that the show was canceled, because people were coming. And my mom sees us and she calls like, "Oh, I'm sorry your show got canceled. I just wanted to cheer you up, uh, just to give you a little perspective. Like a friend of yours." So this guy I knew from growing up, we would see him every summer, and he's like a good friend of mine. It's like, well, he's got stage 4 colon cancer, and he's going through a really tough time right now. So, things could be worse for you. So just be thankful you have your health and all that. And I'm like, I understand the perspective idea, but I want to have my own little pity party just for like 20 minutes. Just give me 20 minutes to worry about something as small as this. And then I can remember that it's just all life is good as long as you aren't dying of cancer.
This resonates with me so hard because a year ago, September, my car got broken into, and everything in my car, I was diagramming an hour. So I was going to do an hour of stand-up comedy. So I had every notebook I'd ever fucking written in, every hard drive was all in one place, in one backpack, in my trunk. They broke into my car. They took my backpack that had every single thing. I had every photograph I've ever taken. All of my information was gone. Okay, the second anyone finds out about that, the first thing that they do is two things. For one thing that they like to do is they love to tell you about advice about this after the fact. Oh, well, you shouldn't have had your backpack in the trunk. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. Now, does this information also come with a fucking time machine? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me right now? That's how you lose
friends. That's the most annoying
Yes, seriously.
thing.
I was like, I hope whatever. And then the other thing everybody likes to do is they like to tell you about the time that they were robbed or the time that they had something stolen. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I am upset about my thing. Thank you for inserting your tragedy into my already tragic outlook. You think you bumming me out even more is somehow supposed to help me? Oh, good. Now I'm sad about you too. Fuck you. Like. And fuck your mom, too. She should have been like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. That sucks. You didn't get to do your show. But at least you don't got cancer, And at least acknowledge the thing that you went through sucks. I'm just kidding about your mom, by the way.
No. She knows. She
Her name's Karen. She knows.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
so
shout out to Karen.
Who was it? Who did you say it was that she was talking about? It was like your friend.
Well, it was a friend of mine. Yeah, good friend of mine. And I didn't know. It's horrible. It is horrible news, and I'm obviously I'm rooting for him, and I want he's got 2 kids. I mean, it's a really tough situation, and I mostly knew him from growing up, but then don't see him as much as an adult. But then it's like, and he's like about my age, so it's very sad.
Yeah,
I hadn't heard about that.
Well, I think it's weird that she uses it. Like, I see what she was trying to do, obviously, but she should have been like, oh, someone I work with has this, so it could be worse. Instead, she's like, hey, I know that your show got canceled, but your friend has cancer. Doesn't that cheer you up?
Right. Right.
It's like, well, that makes it worse. I know that. Like, my friend has cancer, and that's supposed to make me feel good because I don't.
Yeah, it'd be better if it was an enemy. If it was an enemy, exactly. That's the move. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's your childhood nemesis or the kid that bullied you, that's the move.
Right. And there's so many people out there I wish had cancer.
Yes.
So there's a big list. She could
come on, Karen.
Cancer or COVID, somebody's been a cunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good alliteration.
I love a hard C sound, a hard K sound.
Yeah,
but misfortunes has definitely made me feel better about my situation. I remember one time I was on the road, was living out of a Saturn, right? Not to brag, little Saturn SC2 3-door, bright yellow. We called it the Colonel, like the Kernel of corn. And and I was there, I was like bummed out. I think I just had like 3 weeks of work cancel or something, and I was just like on the verge of tears in a rest stop somewhere or something, or in a restaurant parking lot. And I was just scrolling through the internet, and then I found out somebody I went to high school with that was a complete piece of shit got arrested for double murder, and I was like, it's not so bad.
That's so funny because you know, they if those people that guy murdered or lady murdered, their families would, or the pastor or something would probably console them. You know, everything, God has a plan. Everything happens for a reason. And it's like, well, the reason was to make Carmen feel better once they arrested their murderer, because she's going to be down in the dumps.
Thanks for this one, God. I needed it.
You two victims, you really took the bullet, literally, for Carmen.
I liked how careful you were and how PC you were. I don't know how this guy or woman.
Yeah, could be a woman. Hey, ladies murder a lot of people nowadays. It's not just the fellas out there. Look at that Carol Baskin. We saw her. You see her on Dance with the Stars. So yeah, I'm very careful not to just assume murderers are men.
I mean, that's a pretty safe assumption, though. If you look at the numbers.
Hey, whoa, no.
I'm just saying, based on statistics, it's usually a guy. Not saying women can't; they just usually don't, or they get away with it.
But women are making progress. They're coming. Yeah, they're coming strong.
I love that you guys are defending women murder for me. Thank you.
Well. I'm not trying to mansplain women can be murderers to another lady. Oh, look, I'm in trouble. Shit. I fucked this up.
And also, I'm the wrong person to say that to, because I've killed 3 men and nobody seems to give a shit. So.
Oh, my God.
You heard it here first from the Cavalry, guys.
Parody law.
I've been doing that bit on stage for 3 years. Nobody's looked into it, so I think I'm good.
My friend Brant tells a story about how he tried to kill his dad, and it's like actually it's not a parody. It's actually a true story, and he's been wrote it in a book and everything, and nothing happened to him. So I don't know. I
mean, that was the Stanhope thing when Stanhope killed his mom. Like, he wrote a book about it.
Maybe they defunded the police or something. Maybe they don't have the manpower to solve the crimes where people are doing content based on the admissions.
Yeah.
But. Anyway, so you guys sound like you're on my side here. Carmen, you're a little too aggressively on my side.
Sorry.
But no. Just
that's great. That's perfect.
And she
you
did,
want
by
me
the way,
on your
my
side,
mom
by
did.
the way.
I do want you on your side.
Goal.
My mom did do everything she did say, "Oh, I'm sorry, your show got canceled." But here, and my main thing is, I'm glad she even told me, because I would want to know about this. But my main thing is, like, just let everyone should let you have, no matter how small the thing is that's making you bummed out, give them just that. Let them have the little pity party for a little bit, and then if they need to snap out of it, then you bring the perspective in to try and make them feel better. That would be my point.
But sometimes it's not perspective. Sometimes it's just selfishness. Like, you ever have somebody like die or whatever? Like say your friend died, or not your friend, but say. Okay, you got the news about your friend having cancer, right? If you told me that, and then I was like, "Oh, well, I know somebody with cancer," too. Like that takes away from your experience and inserting somebody. Like, it's just a narcissistic quality that human beings at times have that we need to. And I get a lot of times people want to relate to you, and so they're like, "Look, similar in my life. These two things are alike," and so I will say that, but it also should take a second. Like, a human being should be able to take a second and go, "Oh, they're bummed out about this, let them be bummed out about this," and just support them. Like, I don't know why that is so difficult for people sometimes.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like we've even talked about this kind of before with other topics, but like, people love to like insert themselves into whatever news you're bringing them.
And this is where Andrew announces he's having a baby again.
Yeah, well, I aborted
It's
one
twins.
6 years ago, so yeah.
Oh, I know twins. I was friends with twins.
That's what I call my tits, guys. Come on, we're all having a good time.
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo. I'm just kidding. My tits are like my eyebrows. They're sisters, not twins. They're related. You can tell they're related, but they're definitely not identical. Fraternal twins.
They're nips up friends.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I feel sufficiently backed up. That was great. That's how we do it. So, Carmen, you see, it's easy,
but that's
right?
my role. But that's always been my role my whole life. Is I'm the little feisty dog that goes around and defends everybody. Like, you need a defense attorney? I didn't need to go to law school in order for me to defend you to the death. Like, that's what I'm
We have a new co-host. We have a new co-host, apparently.
No, Johnny, you're fired.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna go do my hair.
No. But that's why but this is great because, okay, you've had this role for so long, right? Where you've had to do, but that's what now you're on the cavalry. You got the cavalry behind you. So anything you need backup.
Yeah, it's your turn, baby.
Sure. Okay. There's a couple, since we've started, there's been a couple things that have come to mind. The first one is, because I was performing at least, 5 to 6 30-minute sets a week. And then on top of that, any kind of showcase set I could get on top of that. So the amount that me yelling into a microphone has been dwindled down to next to nothing in comparison. And because of that, it doesn't change the amount of energy that I have, that I've regularly been able to burn off doing all of these shows. So now I just have all of this energy. So now I'm just at times yelling regularly, but there's no emotion behind it. It's just me getting all of this energy out. So a lot of times, it'll be, I'll just be talking to somebody. I can't have a phone conversation without a rant eventually just erupting. And and I feel bad for everybody that I'm doing it about, but I always need to make it clear I'm not mad or angry. There is no emotion behind this. I'm just used to getting all of this energy out. And now I'm doing it, which is how I ended up yelling in a bear's face on accident.
Wait, what?
I was all ready to chime in, and then you dropped this freaking cliffhanger. And we'll get to what Carmen was talking about right after this. No.
Head and Shoulders is the greatest.
No, but wait, what? You yelled at a bear?
I did. I was on a walk. I was on the phone. Sometimes, for sanity, I take walks just like you, right? I was doing a lap in my neighborhood, and for those who don't know, I live in a very like a suburb kind of, but it's in a mountain. So at the end of my street, there is a row of houses, and then above that is just mountain. So there's there's a pack of coyotes that live in my neighborhood. There's 6 of them, and they roam around like straight up gangsters. They walk with their front legs, they don't give a shit. They jump fences, and they walk around in the middle of the street, just checking the neighborhood. It's so rad. And we also have a neighborhood bear. And his name is Rufus. He goes in people's pools. And
Cool.
a couple weeks ago, I was taking a walk, and I was on the phone with my friend, and I was just shouting. And I was just, I don't even remember what I was ranting about, but I was walking down the street, and I saw the shadow of a bear. And I thought, because I'm from Florida, I thought it was one of those really kitschy, Hobby Lobby type mailbox holders. And so then I started bitching about the people of California, about how they're sucking their own dick so much they got a bear holding their fucking mailbox. What do you you like bears so much, it's not enough that it's on the flag, it's got to hold your stupid mailbox too, blah blah blah. So I'm bitching about this bear, and I walk till right in front of it, and then it moves, and then I was like,
oh my god,
shit, that's a bear. That is a bear. It's a real bear. You're a motherfucking, you're a bear. You're holy shit.
Gosh.
And that's how I responded in that time of turmoil, is all I did was say over and over to the bear that it was a bear, as if it didn't know.
The bear's like, I know.
Yeah, I know. The bear's like, what's this?
I know I'm a bear. What are you doing? Wait, what did, so... Oh
so
my
then
God,
I put my hands on my chest, and I was just like, I just kept saying out loud, holy shit, that's a bear. That's a real bear. And I walked backwards almost all the way back to my house. And
I've been to Alaska a bunch of times, and then I can never remember. They always like if you see a bear, if you see like a brown bear, you play dead. But if you see a black bear, you get big. Or I can never remember the rules for like which bear you do what to.
Yeah.
It sounds like what works is you just say, "You're a bear. You're a bear. I'm a person. You're a bear. I understand that you are a bear. You are very strong and very mean. You are a bear," and then they leave you alone.
Yeah, and then you put your hands on your chest and walk backwards.
Yeah. Carmen the park ranger.
He just seemed. That's why I think it was Rufus. I think it was the neighborhood bear because he didn't seem threatened or anything like that. He was just like, "Bitch, yeah, I know," and then walked off into the woods. Like,
I also think it was the neighborhood bear because you were in the neighborhood and it was a bear. How many bears?
I just assumed that the whole story.
Yeah, I didn't know for sure. I didn't ask if it was Rufus. I wasn't like, "Are you Rufus the bear?" I was like, "A bear." Hey,
also, we're very PC. Not all bears look alike, okay?
That's true. But to be fair, it was dark, so I couldn't tell if it was a black bear or a brown bear. I didn't know what kind of bear it was.
Yeah, we're not going to profile bears. But that is an incredible story. Your friend must have been on the phone, just been like, "Oh my God, this conversation is incredible." Either Carmen is losing her mind or this is like, I get a free ticket to like a great, something cool is going to happen.
It was a stoner and he was just like, "Oh shit, no way." Like that was it. He was like, "Wait, really? It was like a real bear?" And I was like, "Dude, how many times did I say that's a bear? Like 93 times in 30 seconds."
The bear's like actively eating you and you're screaming in pain. You're like, "Whoa, bummer, brah." Yo, she's getting eaten for real. Rufus.
Yep.
Rufus the bear. Oh, man.
But I just don't want people to think that I'm mad all the because I'm usually not mad. I try very hard to that is part of the what I loved about stand up, and I still do, is it is a healthy way to get out attention seeking behavior and excess energy, so you're not putting that on your loved ones.
For sure. And I think that's I'm going to back you up too, because I think all of us are having a problem without the outlet. I say us, I mean comedians, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the outlet, my mood is worse, I think, in general, without being able to do stand up a lot. And I don't know if the yelling thing for me, not as much, but I totally relate because it's just like, and then I've said a few times to people I'm not running a bit on you, and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Like, "No, I'm not trying to run a bit on you, but just hear me out on this." And they're like, what bit are you talking about?
Because it's also the safest way for me to walk through a line of logic or walk through a stream of consciousness that I'm curious about out loud. You ever so instead of me looking like a psycho and just doing that out loud into a mirror or on a street corner or how several
to a bear,
or to a bear, I can do it to an audience, and with that added pressure, there's punchlines in it, and it's like a safer, healthier way for me to get it out.
For sure. Yeah. And I don't know. I feel that a lot. I feel that the same way. I just feel like,
Johnny, how do you feel about it?
I feel the same way.
Johnny's checked out. Johnny's just staring at his hair in the mirror.
At one point during every episode, the guest always is like, "Johnny, you're being really quiet."
Well, I didn't say that. I just asked what you thought.
No, I totally agree. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how every comedian's depressed during this period, right? I mean, it's just backing up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also get that people aren't used to people just yelling without anger behind it. So I understand why it could be off-putting. But so I always have to do, and I've gotten that too. I've been having conversations with people or even another comedian, and they're like, are you doing a type 5 right now? Right. And I'm like, no, I'm speaking in this fucking inflection because I fucking gotta. What do you want from me?
Yeah. Well, sometimes I will say something that is I just have to say the joke out loud to somebody, like something I thought of or like a stupid thing, and I'll present it straight, but like hopefully they get that it's a joke, you know. And then the reactions, I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. What are you talking?
And then you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
This is real good.
Yeah, if you were an audience, this would kill.
Right. If there was an expectation that was supposed to be funny, then that
And it would
have been funny. No way, bro. You're getting eaten by a bear. Oh, I'm tripping. Well, yeah, we're backing you up for sure. I think we all, of course. I mean, like me and Johnny, we're not as like, we have way less energy on stage for sure than you do. Carmen, you have like way more energy, but I think it's still like, there is stuff that gets stuck in there. Like you realize you do stand up so much, you don't realize how much you like kind of depend on it.
Oh, well, and that's one thing I love about doing shows with Carmen when you're going before me, because you're so good at wrangling the audience and being like, hey, no bullshit. You in the corner, you over there, pay attention. We all need this. This isn't for you. This is for us. Yeah. So by the time
it's also for both of us. You know, that it's an acknowledgement of I'm here to provide a service for you, and you in turn have to be a good audience too. I will be a good comedian because I'm committed to being a good comedian. I want to do the best I possibly can, but I also need you guys to check in as well. And like that's from doing all those sets in front of famous people at the Comedy Store, where I have to constantly defend the fact that I'm even allowed on stage there, you know? So it's like, hey, I know I'm not famous, but I'm still fucking good, bitch. You know, like, so with that, and then with the added like hurdle of having to do virtual shows and stuff like that, it's also like I'm constantly reminding people, you're not just staring at a screen. I am right here. I absolutely need you to participate in order for this not to be a fucking weird bummer meeting, you know?
I just imagine you're at the Comedy Store and you're like in the audience like, hey, I know I'm not famous, but I'm fucking good at this, bitch. And the audience is like, yeah, we like you. You ever get that feeling?
Yeah, how the audience has their hands up, they're like,
yeah. Because like I've gone into shows like that where I'm like, I don't know, whatever, there's just because of the venue or the other comics on it or something, I'm already in this defensive posture. I'm like, this crowd hates me and I hate them. And then you go on stage with that, but the crowd is like, we liked you. I don't know what's wrong with you, but we're fine.
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm on board. That for me, because I'm still like cutesy enough where people don't take me too seriously, but I have been like that when because I hate, this is another thing, I can't stand it when polite laughers or light laughers, like people that are like and that kind of just, they're enjoying themselves but they don't project it in any way, so you think that you're bombing even though you're not. Like that, I've definitely overreacted on those audiences where I'm like, what the fuck is your deal? And they're like, nothing's the deal. We're just quiet and old. A lot of times they're just old. So they don't have the life force to get those laughs out anymore because they spent them all in the fucking 60s.
And those are on Zoom shows. Those are even worse because like, you know, whatever program will like, it hears that person make noise. So it highlights that person and it kind of quiet. So all you hear loudly is
yeah,
right in your earbud.
It sucks to bomb loudly. It does. Yeah.
I sometimes I feel for those people because I don't know if it's because you know, we've all been to like a billion comedy shows, and so you, after a while, you've like seen every joke, or you just seen so much comedy in your life, and then I'll see something on stage and I'll go, that's funny. I know that that's funny. But like, I'm just kind of, I've become dead as far as like laughing, you know.
Well, see, I'm still a laugher.
Show. Really?
So I still laugh.
Yeah. So I'll see stuff and I'll go, that's funny. And so I laugh and I'm like, you should laugh. And I tell myself, go, ha, ha, ha. Like I have to like communicate that to my brain. Now, like when we're talking here, just in this like I've laughed a million times, like naturally, because, you know, it's been funny. But like, yeah, for some reason in a stand-up capacity, when I'm watching, like, that was funny. Laugh now.
Yeah.
That I like. Yeah, sometimes I see audience members doing that.
But there's different. Like as a comedian, I know exactly what you're talking about because I've done that too. But at the same time, there's people that make me piss my pants genuinely as comedians. So kind of both ways, where it's like, oh, I get, yes, that's funny, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But then there's also comedy that's able to pull it out of me.
I think it's also, I think the reason that exists is there's the difference between when we can still be surprised. That's funny.
Yeah.
You understand the logic of the joke. Not to get too inside baseball for the people listening, but you'll see, like, once you know how to construct a guitar, when you see a well-constructed guitar, you're like, oh, that's good. Yeah, I see what he did there. But if you see somebody do something completely different that you've never seen, or construct a guitar out of a fucking aluminum can or something like that, you're just like, whoa, what?
Right.
What the fuck is that? That's
is guitar code for bong? Is that what we're...
Dude, I made you a bear-shaped bong because I heard you got mauled by a bear. Oh, thank you.
Johnny looks like the dude you were talking to on the phone. That's who Johnny looks like right now in those posters.
But it's like, it's watching stand-up analytically versus watching it like an audience member, which is, I mean, to be fair, part of the reason why I'm an advocate for marijuana is it can get you to turn off that analytics and be able to enjoy stand-up like the audience.
Yeah. Well, and to just to go back, but Johnny, I agree with you too. Like, there are definitely times where I'm just laughing hysterically besides myself at stand up, and it's usually listening to my own sets. But
to your dry bar DVD.
Yeah, it's usually on the
Can
right
I get
home.
off of the Cavalry now? Because
you guys, I don't need you anymore. I can play this back for myself and be able to sleep tonight. So no, but yeah, I think that's 100% back up on your. And then, does anyone ever get mad, like when you have you ever had someone like really get upset because, like, hey, why are you yelling at me? Like, have you had that at all, or you just kind of feel them pull back a little bit?
it's both. But I also, I'm self-aware, so I know it. So then I'll say it, but I'm still yelling. I'm like, I'm not upset, I'm not mad or anything. I'm just getting it out. Like, I'm not, sometimes I'm saying it to the inanimate objects in my apartment. Like, I'm not screaming at you, whiteboard. I just don't like that there's so much fucking shit on there that I haven't finished. All right? It has nothing to do with you. Yeah. I'm upset at myself. Like, I'm still like, I'm still checking myself. Yeah.
You think you're special. I gave this whole spiel to the whiteboard earlier, okay?
Yeah.
Nothing about this isn't about you, customer service person. All right, I was talking to the fridge 20 minutes ago. So
I do always try very, very hard to never get mad at a customer service person. Because I've been going through I applied for an SBA loan and got approved in like seconds for it, and then on my phone, my account numbers, one of the digits is cut off, so I didn't give them a full account number. There's missing one digit at the end of it, so they couldn't deposit the money into my account. So now it's been 2 months that I've been waiting for them to reissue me so they'll give you the money immediately, but if there's any issues at all, because they're so swamped, so it's just like, and I've literally called them about 17 or 18 times. Throughout this. It's like at least twice a week, and every single time nobody knows nothing. I gotta start all over again, and every single, and I just, before I call, I either throat scream into a pillow and get it all out beforehand, because I don't want to lose my shit, because I get it, they're working from home, I can hear the bitch's dog in the background, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I understand. And so it's also all of those things, but I try so hard to woosah, zen, whatever the fuck I can before I get on the phone with them, because it's like, I get it.
Well, and just strategically, it's like you can't, you're always, my wife has taught me this, and friends of mine, but like, my natural thing is to, like you said, like, I get very frustrated, and then I'm not trying to be mean to the person on the phone, but it just comes out of me, and it's like this kind of like dickish, like, the thing they've probably heard a million times, and you're not helping your cause at all. If you just are really nice and try and charm them a little bit, it's going to go way farther towards your cause.
So that's what I try to do. I try to redirect that energy into charm. And and go, look, I know you're not holding my money in your hands and refusing to give it to me. I understand that, but help me find where that money is so I can get that motherfucking money into my account. It's also a great way for you to be able to get that through that loophole where if you cuss at them, they hang up on you. If you're cool and you cuss, they don't hang up on you still. So they'll be like, because then they'll laugh and they're like, I understand. So finally, after speaking to 18 different people, I finally got a tiny old black lady that finally helped me. And she was like, oh, listen, this is what you need to do. And I was just like, thank you, finally.
Isn't that amazing when you finally find the one person that was like, oh, why didn't they just tell you to do this? Like, yeah. I don't know. Why didn't they just tell me?
And then they turn on their coworkers. I don't know why they don't tell you that.
Right. Yeah, like I was like, oh my God, you should be running this whole company. Yeah, we had a health insurance thing. It was the same exact thing. And it was like, it took you, every time you call it, someone new. And then eventually you find someone who was like, oh, this was the answer all along. It's like, wow, you should get a raise, you know.
Yes.
It's like, you're very good at your job.
And I always do. I always try to give back in those moments where it's like, hey, like I've had that over, like, you got a survey? What's your thing? What's your number? You got a survey? And then a lot of times they'll laugh at me and they're like, no, we don't have a survey. They don't give a shit about if we're doing our job good or not. And then I'm like, that explains the other 17 people I talked to.
Do you really do the survey when they have them?
Yeah. If they're good.
Oh, see, I'll be like, what's your name? What's the survey? What is your name? Steven? Okay, great. And then you just hang up because, you know, but they feel good. They feel good. They think
I had plumbers and they were just swearing up and down like, hey, are you going to leave us a good review? I was like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they said their names like Tim and Alex. And I was like, oh, yeah, Tim and Alex. Never forget. And this the second they walk out of the door. I was like, never think about it again. But then they kept calling and text. But then they had something wrong. There was like a problem. And one of them, I texted and he didn't want to come back. I was like, well, I still got this review. And the other dude, Tim, he was like, hey, have you done that review? I was like, no, I haven't done that review. It's funny you should ask. I still got a leak downstairs. And so he came back and fixed it. And then I did do the review. It was
exactly.
Like, I was like, this is a system here. This is like how the system should work.
Yeah. You know what the key is? If you're not a nice person like you guys, like when you, let's say you're talking, let's say you got a refrigerator and it got delivered by Menards and it was all dinged up and shitty. Here's the key. When you know, because this is your 16th time calling Menards and you know you're about to have a headache, you're nice at first. You get their name real early. You know, like, hi, customer service, Menards bullshit. Who am I speaking with? You say, oh, my name is Mr. Beaner. What is your name? You know, and then they're like, oh, this is Renee. And Renee, okay, got it. And they know that you have it. So like, if they're gonna snap or anything, they can't because you have, you know, because I've worked in customer service. You know, if no one knew who I was, I'd be like, fuck you. You know, click, take the next call. What are they gonna be like? Hey, I just called. There was some guy. I didn't get his name. But if you say, okay, Renee, then they know I got to be careful because this guy knows who I am.
That is a great tip. I've learned two great things: that good hair can cause dandruff, and to get the name of the customer service person
up front.
Also, you know how to evade a bear.
Yeah. That's also important information. How to survive a bear.
Just tell the bear it's a bear. And then it's so confused, it doesn't have.
But that's specific to Rufus in Carmen's neighborhood.
Yeah, we don't know if every bear will respond the same, but try it.
Right.
Okay,
Johnny? What's upsetting? What's your thing that you need support on? How can
I just thought of this.
Service?
I just thought of this one when you were talking about, you know, comedians all being depressed and shit. So I started because I've been like, you know, needing this outlet, and I'm just like, okay, now I'm just, you know, full time watching the kids, doing the homeschooling thing. I have no outlet for, you know, what my hopes and dreams were, and so I started seeing. I called our insurance. I was like, I gotta talk to someone. I have to talk to someone. So I started seeing a therapist, and it's on Zoom because that's, you know, what's going on. So it's like Zoom. I'm like, oh great, I gotta I got to be careful that, when I'm bitching about my wife, that she's not in the other room listening or whatever.
Mhm.
So that's irritating. But this is my first Zoom. I only had one so far. She comes on, and she's probably my age. She's my age, if not younger. I don't want. No, thank you. How do you? I just want to be like, no, I need. I don't want to. Why am I going to talk to you?
You have friends. You're not
exactly.
friendless.
I want an old man with fucking patches on his elbows.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is just a waste. Now I'm talking to a stranger that's younger than we're both. We're 40. We're idiots. What the hell are we talking to each other for?
Yeah, I want a 63-year-old person, guy or girl, who has made their marriage last, has long-lasting friendships, who has done it and figured it out. Tell me the tools. I got a lot of problem with therapists. That is one of them too. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if this is probably my own hang up, but if I don't feel like you're smarter than me, I'm definitely not paying for your fucking advice. Like, if I have a conversation with you, like, a buddy of mine was just talking about how he had a therapist that was like talking to him about conspiracy theories, and I was like, oh no, I would never pay you again. If you started telling me what I think, asking me what I think about the earth being flat, I'm not going to discuss with you the intimate details of my childhood trauma. Like, what the fuck are you gonna come up with another conspiracy theory, you psycho? Like, you can't put logic together, let alone help me process complex emotions.
It's so true. Like, if you're a therapist, you got to be really careful what personal information you divulge, because it's just everyone's gonna like shoot holes in your credibility. Like. And this isn't even that bad, but like my wife kind of stopped seeing her therapist because not because of this, but just she said she was pregnant. She's like, oh, that's great. And when she was pregnant, she wanted to be able to kind of like talk about how it's scary to be pregnant in these times with COVID and these, everything going on. It's kind of scary, the idea of like bringing a kid into the world. And just
let me guess. Her therapist had a MAGA hat on.
Yeah, which she was cool with for the whole session.
But then when she found out she was an anti-vaxxer, she was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely don't want your advice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, but so she goes, the therapist, just like total enthusiasm. Like, oh, that's great. My daughter is having like her second kid, and her daughter's like 19 and her other daughter's like 20, and she has 2 kids. And so she's all about, I was like, that's too many kids from your young child. I wouldn't be encouraging that. If you're out, I don't like your judgment anymore. So,
yeah.
You make bad decisions. Leave meeting.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's great. Firing your therapist on Zoom, because you can just be like, oh, bad connection. Okay, goodbye.
But I don't know if I don't know if this is a bit or someone's done it, but like because I saw someone when I was living in LA, and I hated him. But I just kept going because I was like, it's like breaking up with someone. I didn't know how to do. I'm just, I don't like conflict. I was like, whatever.
It's so funny that you're going to him for him to teach you how to break up with him.
Right. You need to stand up for what you really want. It's like, I know, you know what I would love is to not have to come here anymore. Yeah, so how are we going to make that happen? We'll take some concrete steps next week. Yeah, I didn't like my therapist. I've only been like 3 or 4 times, and I got one in LA because I had health insurance. So I was like, well, let's just do this. And I went a few times, and then eventually she broke up with me. She was like, a lot of because you could tell like I wasn't really bringing it much. I guess.
Interesting.
And she was like, a lot of times what I tell my patients, if they don't really have much else to talk about, take a few weeks off and see if you still need to come. So she's like, basically dumped me.
I also respect that, but I also I like a therapist that's like, hey, I think we've done as much as we possibly can. Stop giving me money for nothing.
Right?
Like that's the shit I respect, because it's also a straight up scam. Some of these are running where it's just like, okay, well, how many times do we want to walk through this before you tell me what do I do to fix it? Like,
Right.
Like, that's always been my big issue with therapists, is because I know a lot of them are very much thriving in this capitalistic society, and they don't want you to finish your shit. They want you to keep, let's roll around in it and just keep talking about it forever. And I don't want that. I can come in and tell you what's wrong, what it was caused by. I've already done all that work. Now, tell me how to be, tell me what exercises I can do to fix it. I move forward. I already know where my dad fucked up and my mom fucked up and everybody, I already know how all of these things have affected me and the behaviors that it's caused from it. But now, what do I do? How do I not have the trust issues that I have from all of it? How do I not have all of these issues? Where do I go from here? I've already done the research. Now, where do I go from here? And if they can't give me that, get the fuck out of here, buddy. Get the fuck out of here. I have friends. I got stage time. I got a Zoom show. I'll fucking work this out myself.
No, but that you do just that's what you sounded like. You sounded like someone who's had tons of therapy when you said that to the bear. It's like, okay, I worked on this. You are a bear, but I need my space. But you are a bear, and you're doing your bear things, and you're a bear, and you're going to do what a bear does. I'm Carmen, and I'm going to do what's best for Carmen. I'm going to walk away, but you are a bear. No, but Johnny, for sure, the age thing is only. But I was thinking about this with a different subject, but it's only going to get worse because you think about how hard it would be to be an old person in our society, and every professional you need for anything is younger than you, and just having no respect for that person at all, because like that's going to get worse and worse. Like, imagine if you're 60 and you go in and your therapist is like 35.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they going to say to you? It's like insane.
Yeah. Well, and she was like, I always like the first session. She's like, I always like to start my session by kind of, giving an introduction about me so that you don't feel like you're talking to a stranger. So my name is Susan or whatever. I forget her name. My name is Susan. I grew up in, whatever. I don't know what she said. And she was like, and I've been at the practice for 7 months. So that's usually what I tell people. And I was like, wait a minute, and I kind of, as we're talking, I was like, oh, she's been with the company for 7. And then I realized as we're talking, I was like, oh, I think this is her first job. I think I'm helping her figure out how to be a therapist, because how many times during a session is a therapist supposed to, and she literally said that she would go, yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
no.
The therapist isn't supposed to say that.
And I think like that's so funny. Like, why would you ever say that? Because even us would know how to bullshit being a therapist, right? You're like, oh, what do you think about that? Or, oh, that's interesting. Can you tell me more about that? There's so many ways around. Oh, geez, that's a real whodunit.
Look, I'm not even a therapist. I'm not even a therapist, and I know you're just supposed to use the Socratic method. You just ask the questions so that somebody can come to a conclusion themselves. Like, that's all you're supposed to do. It's, why do you feel that way? Why do you think that is? Tell me more about that. Why? Let's navigate through. Like, walk me through the series of emotions. Like, it's not that hard.
Her little cheat code, her technique for stalling while she thinks of what to say is to say, I don't know. Like, as a comedian, we say, hey, we having fun? Who's drinking? All that shit. We don't say,
what else about me?
Thinking of my next joke. What is it?
That would be funny if they therapists stalled like comedians did. Be like, oh, yeah, hey, how about a big round of applause for the parking attendant who took your ticket earlier? Yeah, they do a great job down there, and let's not forget about them. And also,
I've just been so sad, Doctor. Well, hey, let's give it up for the troops, because
the real heroes. You got a lot to complain about, but these guys are over there in Iraq and Afghanistan and taking bullets. So
you think you're weirded out because you're taking shits that look like trout? They have real PTSD.
So what else?
It'd be funny if your mom was the therapist, if that was her way of anytime anybody was like, my marriage is falling apart, and she's like, oh, did you know someone in your family's dying?
Yeah, that's therapy in its own way, like giving you perspective, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I support you, Johnny. Fuck these kids.
Yeah, I feel very backed up. You guys jumped right on.
Just lie, you know. Or you don't even have to lie. You just don't have to say it's because you know, if you're going to be a therapist, eventually someone is going to be your first client, right? You can't fault them that. But you don't have to say that you're my first client, these are my first 7 months. Just
right.
That's not helping. That didn't let me know more about you, other than now I'm more skeptical
of
anything you have to say.
Yeah, I think in the young therapist game, a fake it till you make it approach is definitely more effective than you being like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right. It is a lot like comedy, because you don't like go do like someone pays you a lot of money to do some gig and you're like, okay, everybody, well, I've only done this 8 times, and a lot of those times did not go well. So I hope that you're very forgiving and give me some good topics.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, we're man, everybody's backing each other. This has been great. This has been
great. Swish, 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 swish.
Swish. 3 for 3. And we learned a lot. I would say we've learned. I'd say this has been the most enlightening podcast that we've done. How about that? Fun, funny, and enlightening. So that
the triple
is
threat.
quality entertainment. Carmen, do you have anything you want to like plug or
sure.
Social media or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. You could go to CarmenMorales.com for all of your Carmen Morales needs. Follow me on all the assorted social media at The Funny Carmen. That's CARMEN. I do a fun little Zoom show a couple times a month. Follow me on the socials and you'll see about it. And I have a podcast as well. It's called No Sir, I Don't Like It. Johnny was actually just on. We talked about his butt. And
we showed
children farting. Yes, he did show it. That's right. Whoa. We talked about his children farting. The premise is that I have people on and they talk about things that they don't like, and then I'm supportive of them and not liking those things. Usually, unless somebody like digs their heels in about raisins or something, and I'm like, all right, easy, come on. It's just
tomatoes
grapes without the
tomatoes,
juice.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check that out because I want to see Johnny's butt. So great. That sounds wonderful. All right, thank you everybody for listening. Please remember to
make sure to leave a 5-star review, and we will back up your thing.
If you leave what you need backup on in the review. Ah! For those of you listening at home, Johnny has just showed a picture of his butt. Not very hairy.
Back it up. No,
it was not very hairy, but there were some pimples. I think my head was in the way.
Anyway, what a note to end on. Thank you, everybody. And this has been. Thank you for listening to
The Cavalry.
The Cavalry.